Video 3.5 Azure Resource Groups. In this video, we will cover the following. What are Azure Resource Groups? Best practices related to Azure Resource Groups. How to create an Azure Resource Group and add a resource. Let us first understand the term resource. Any service in Azure is a resource. Virtual machines, storage, databases, etc. are resources. Assume that you are developing a website and for that, you want to use Azure Virtual Machines, Azure Cosmos DB, and Azure Blob Storage. Before creating any of these, you first need to create a resource group. A resource group is a logical collection of all the resources that you create in Azure. It is a management unit for Azure resources. It is like a container that contains all the resources needed for the deployment of an application. A resource group can help you to manage resources collectively rather than managing individually. You can manage resources collectively by providing RBAC permissions and also organize resources by lifecycle. Let me give you an example. Suppose you want to design a game and your company has branches in different parts of the country and different teams work on the development of this game, such as the graphic design team, developer team, testing team, etc. If all the services used by them are deployed in a single Azure subscription, then there won't be any clarity to say that a particular team uses a particular service. To avoid this, resource groups can be created for different teams and different places. They can also be tagged and can be managed individually. You can even apply RBAC permissions to a resource group. You can ease administration and limit access to allow only what is needed. After the game is developed, the unused resource groups can be deleted. In this way, resource groups can help in managing resources together. Resource groups should be organized effectively because securing, managing, and tracking your workload's costs becomes easy. A few things need to be followed and considered for efficient management of resource groups. Follow a well-defined naming convention and apply resource tagging so that when you have different resource groups, you can easily identify or differentiate the resource groups because of your naming strategy. For example, if you have 10 different resource groups and you name them RG1, RG2, so on till RG10, you will not face any problem while creating the resource groups. But further down the road, it would be difficult to find a particular resource group related to a specific workload. A resource should only be present in one particular resource group. Resources deployed in different regions can be present in a resource group. Resource groups can be made based on your necessities. For example, suppose you want to develop an application and you want 2 different groups for development. You can create 2 different resource groups for each one of them, or if you want to create a billing resource group for application development, etc. Resources can be added or deleted at any time from a resource group. Resources can also be moved between different resource groups. Now let us create a resource group and add a resource to it by following the best practices and considerations. First of all, sign in your Azure account. Select this to create a resource. Now, search for resource group and press Create. We need to name it now. Write my-AZ-900-demo-RG and select subscription and region. Tags can also be added as a best practice. Let us skip this for now. After this, click Review plus Create. Check everything and press Create. Now go to the home page and search or press this resource group on the dashboard's left side. You will see all your resource groups here. On this page, you will see the basic information like subscription, the region, and tags if present. Select the resource group which you have just deployed. It will be empty because there are no resources deployed in it. Let us deploy one now. We will deploy a virtual network. Now click Add and search for the virtual network. Select Create. Check the subscription and the resource group. The resource group should be the one where you want to add this virtual network. Enter a name for this virtual network as my-AZ-900-demo-VN and press IP addresses. Enter the address space as 192.168.0.0/24 and select Review plus Create. Check everything and press Create. It will be shown in the notifications that the resource is being deployed. Wait for some time. Go to Home, Resource Groups, and select your resource group. Click Refresh, and you will see the virtual network which is just deployed. Similarly, you can deploy as many resources as you want in a resource group. After deploying, go to Resource Groups, select the resource group, and click Delete because we do not want any bills at the end of the month. This shows that one resource in the resource group also gets deleted. We can also see in notifications that the resource group is being deleted. In summary, in this video, we have covered the following topics. What are Azure Resource Groups? Best practices related to Azure Groups. How to create an Azure Resource Group and add a resource. Section Summary. In this section, we have covered the following topics. How to create an Azure account. Role-based access control in Azure. Cost management using Azure budgets. Infrastructure as code in Azure. Azure Resource Groups. In the next section, we will take a look at the core Azure services.